yeah, so like if you want to be masterminding or getting better at any space of this business, whether it's inviting to Instagram stories to coming up with, I don't know, pick a space in this adventure, please go to YouTube, because there are trainings. Obviously, something I always do though when I look at trainings on YouTube, Aaron, scare the heck out of us. What you need to do is like be conscious of the date of when it was uploaded, because there's trainings from like 3-4 years ago where the content might be so good, but how we like things like the coach on or like share a cart didn't exist then. Challenge group guides didn't exist then. Certain spaces of our coach online office looked very different than it does now. So when you look at the trainings and the things that these top coaches and things put out 3-4 years ago, ensure that you look at the date so that it's applicable now. So Taryn and Taryn's not feeling good, guys.
I'll be all right though.
Good. We are going to really focus tonight on doing some work with you. So I hope you have your phones or you have your laptops or however mastermind how you want to do this with the devices you have in front of you. Hello, extra person in Aaron's screen. Hi! Oh, yay! This is like a 2-for-1 deal. We get Geneva and Aaron in one screen.
That's why my dogs are barking.
This is like awesome. I'm so glad you're both there together to do this. Okay, that makes it even more fun. Okay, so Taryn and I wanted to focus tonight on Instagram stories and using Instagram and Instagram stories as a means to invite. And I learned something cool for you guys today. I learned how, because I knew you could. Being a technology coach at work, I learned how to cast my screen from my phone onto my computer screen. So I'm going to actually show you what I'm doing on my phone, because Instagram stories is clearly and only a device thing. It's not a computer screen thing yet. I feel like they'll go there at some point. Maybe they won't though. Maybe I think that's the beauty of Instagram stories, is that it's like mobile and in the moment. What do you think, Karen?
I don't know. I think it's easier just to have it on your phone, so
Yes.
you're not like, even, I don't think you can direct message from your computer.
That would be lovely.
Can't do.
That
You
would
can't
be
do
awesome,
much.
especially bouncing back and forth.
Yeah, what did you say, Kyla?
I said you can't do much on Instagram from your computer. I've noticed it gets annoying actually.
You can watch stories from your
Yes.
computer, and you can scroll, obviously.
Yeah.
But
Like to post, like I might be on my computer one day and I'm like, oh, I wanted, and then I'm like, well, you can't do that. Great.
yeah, gotta do
Trying
it.
to figure out how to do this on my phone now.
Totally. Okay, so before we get going, because I wrote down some things, and I know that Taryn's got a couple things that we both wanted to like, as far as wording and what we say and do with our Instagram invites and such. But is there any questions about Instagram or Instagram stories that you guys have before we get going, so we make sure that we're answering your questions as well as using this time to be productive as a group? Anything? You are all 4, 5, all 6 of us. We are all consistent. Kyla's, you're becoming consistent with your
Getting
Instagram
better.
story. You're getting better at it, and which is we all have to start somewhere. I think of my own coach, Janelle Yazinski. She did not use Instagram stories till about 3-4 months ago. And now it's like automatic for her. But she started using it because her friend said, dude, you gotta get on board with this because you're gonna feel real far behind. But I know that Geneva's story and mine is very similar. We do a lot of jumping around like crazy humans in our stories. And Erin, you'll see a lot more of her animals in them and being consistent, right? And like Becky's got everything from eating frog legs to her kids being hilarious. Dude. Frog legs.
Apples, but I didn't post it.
Dang it. But you guys, I have to say, Taryn does Instagram stories differently than I do. Because she'll like collect content all day, and then she'll mastermind it and hack it in and put it all in. kind of in
Yeah.
one fell swoop. Whereas I am doing it in the moment, right?
And I don't necessarily have the in the moment because I've got monkeys crawling all over me all day long. So I don't really have as much time to have that space to where I can like be doing it throughout the day, because I kind of like to put thought into it or throw some like music onto it, do the polls, and when they're with me, I'm just like, get it up. And I don't really make it pretty. I don't really add much to it when I'm with them.
Totally. And both work though.
Mm-hmm.
Both work. So if you feel like you need to give yourself time and space into building your story, I actually discovered from watching this YouTube video before I got on here, there's a couple of things I want to tell you guys about that I just learned that I'm like, oh heck, we all need to know about this. So iPhone users, and I know Kyla, you're a Samsung.
I'm a Samsung now, which is also a learning curve with a few things.
Becky, you're on an iPhone, yeah? Erin, Geneva, you're on iPhones? Okay, girls, follow my directions. I'm gonna hold on a second. I gotta do this because I want you to be able to see my screen.
I'm kind of learning step by step.
We are gonna learn some things. And those of you who do not have iPhones, that's okay, because you're gonna be able to tell your people that do have it.
Is this with the clip to do the clip message?
Just a minute. I gotta show you this. It's just here we go. So I'm going to share screen. Share this. Watch, guys. Da-na-na. You can now see my phone. Okay, so check this out. Do not judge any red dots. I'm telling you right now, if you do, you're going to hockey with my husband. Okay, so if you go into your settings, okay, and then go down to Control Center, and then to Customize Controls. Now, I've already done it, but do you see screen recording on the top here? It says Include Screen Recording. This wasn't here before, and I just added it. But now what I can do is when you turn that on, when you turn the screen recording on, let's say I'm in Instagram. Sorry, no, I'm going to go over here. I'm going to go to my challenge tracker because this is important for people to see. And I'm going to pop up like this. The bottom one beside the home here is my recorder. So it's going to go, it should hypothetically go. This is a test. It's going to embarrass me now because I'm not going to have it working. Anyways, what it's supposed to do, maybe it just won't do it if it's in that app. Anyways, I'm supposed to be able to click that, and then a timer goes 3, 2, 1, and then it'll actually make a video recording of your scroll. So I just learned about this literally before we came on here. So that's that one. The other apps that I just downloaded tonight, bottom right-hand corner, called Over. The yellow with a white circle, write that one down. And Featured, bottom beside Lego Juniors, because I'm cool like that.
Are these all only iPhone?
As far as I know, they are only iPhone. But Hype Type is the other one, which I have. That bottom purple, yellow wording there is Hype Type. These are 3 apps that this chick who has 84 gajillion followers on YouTube posted about these apps. What?
What's your thriller that you do?
Oh, okay. So if you've watched my stories at all, can you all still see me on your screen? Or do you just see my screen? Okay.
Both.
Perfect. So when you see like the little like movie or like music video type clips that I put into my stories, Jen, have you welcome my friend. Have you watched my Instagram stories at all? Jen? Kind of, sort of, maybe, not sure? I think you're muted. Here we go. Let me unmute you. Go ahead.
It's kind of cutting out. It's kind of rough right
Okay.
now, but I can see stuff.
Okay, so on my Instagram stories, I've used something called Triller. It's right there beside the Nutrition Plus app. I really got to clean up my screen. This is kind of embarrassing, but I know you love it. So Triller is a great app for creating music videos. Now, what I do, and I still haven't figured out the fastest way to do it, but I take the video of myself doing the things in here. So like here's videos from today, from this morning, and then I'll clip them into little chunks. Like this is what I threw together this morning of me jumping around like a crazy fool. Okay. So, but in Triller, if you speed up your clips first, then it'll grab them and it creates its own little. It creates its own little. Good Lord. So I don't even know. Start music video. It's going to be interesting what it's going to do with this all connected. But what it does is it hacks. Let's choose shallow. Sure. Doesn't really suit a workout, but that's okay.
You can't get on social media anymore without half-naked people.
You can't go. Seriously, you can't go anywhere without somebody's things falling out of their shirt. Maybe it's whoa.
Hi, Carrie.
Hi, Carrie. Okay, so if I go to my, where is it? Here we go. You're getting me from all kinds of angles. Videos, and then I can choose these quick bits here that I had. I'm gonna go done. Now watch this. It's going to awkwardly have this video of mine. I'm so glad you all love me anyways. Downloading video from the iCloud because this is where I'm at, guys.
Are you wearing maroon tonight?
I am. We match.
We're matching again. Maroon and white.
I'd be surprised, but I'm not. Okay, so you guys, the purpose of your Instagram stories is to tell a story. So if you are always, something that drives me nuts, and you know who does it the worst? Melanie Mitro. It drives me bonkers. She is the queen of this company, and her Instagram stories, I'm like, next.
So much video. Talk.
It's so much her talking. Okay, guys. Like, seriously. I'm like, and you know what? Brittany Wright does it a little bit too. And we all have our moments, but I try and avoid story, like straight up 15-second video, 15-second video, 15-second video. Like even Carl Deichler doesn't do that. So if you have to remember that this is your story, and it's a good movie, a good story has variety in it. So having a still picture and then you moving and then text that's moving and I mean, don't overthink this. This is the thing that I think people get intimidated of, is overthinking it. But like, if you have a big message to tell and it takes more than 15 seconds to tell it, then maybe you have to revisit whether or not you're sharing it or not. You know, like,
So,
go ahead.
with that, so like if I was to go on Instagram, let me just go on here for a second. If I go into my story, which is that little camera, so I have the option to do type, live, normal, boomerang, super zoom, focus, rewind, hands-free. So usually I've just done it on normal and held that circle button down.
Absolutely.
Sorry.
So if I turn this around and be like, okay, watch this.
So like this button.
Yes.
Like I hold that down and say whatever I say,
Yep.
but it's like 10 or 15 seconds as you're saying, right?
All 15 seconds.
So is it better to do a live, or like how do you make it longer, I guess is my question, because I'm trying to figure
So
this
if I want to say something more than 15 seconds that I can say right now to my camera, which you can see, if it's more than 15 seconds, then I need to either go live about it and do an Instagram live or a Facebook live about it, because the purpose of this is, watch this. Okay, I'm on Instagram stories, you guys, with all of these people, and this is going to look super crazy because it's like too much. With laundry, we're going to learn together, because this is what people that want to grow do together. The end. Okay, so now that's going to loop, and I hit add to my stories, or I can hit save. I'm going to hit save for now.
So mine loops through a couple times and it'll save like 2 videos.
What do you mean?
So when I do mine, and I'll see if it'll let me show you here. When I'll go through, it'll loop
Once and
like
then
for
twice?
15 seconds, and then it will save. It will save like 2 or 3. Even if I do like 5 of them, I don't know if it's just because my phone.
Yeah.
But it could be your phone. There's another app that I do that clips your stories.
Yes.
And I'm trying to remember.
And I have one too. So when I have a video, like if I do a music video that's longer than 15 seconds or things that are longer than those 15-second chunks, I use long story split. Top there, the third over from the left or second from the right, long story split. Clips is also a really good Apple app. It's fresh and new this past year. It's fantastic. I don't know if you saw on my Facebook page, you guys, or in my stories, a little video of Luke giving everybody hugs this morning. That's what I used to make that, with the little like, with joy and sadness and anger that showed up at the end that said all the feels. That's what I use. It has all those little bits built into it. So these are just like variety. Nobody's telling you what you have to use or what you don't have to use. If you have a style or apps that you enjoy that are creating the look that you love for your Instagram stories, just keep doing it. But the more variety you have in your story, the more, do you like what my back of my screensaver says, by the way? The more variety you have in your story, the more people are going to want to come and watch. And I heard tonight in the trainings that I was watching that like the reason why Instagram stories is so key is because the more people watch them, the more you're going to show up in the algorithms of their feed. So your Instagram stories on Instagram is your segue into people's feed. And I can totally tell because there's the people on my Instagram that I follow. Oh my gosh, you guys, look. These are my husband's 2 buddies. I don't even want to know what they're texting me about. I'm not interested right now, you ding-dongs. So if I go, go away. Okay. So if I go up here, the House of Boylan is a girlfriend of mine from, like, we went to kindergarten together. This is the story I uploaded today. This is the page that I run for work, ECSD Early Learning. So today is World Kindness Day. Press and hold the next street. This is a good idea. If you have something that's like good content for people, or maybe it's a recipe, use the type to type something in like this. So you can choose a way to spread kindness with your little learners today. Next one, you're going to really have to press and hold because there's like 100 different things that a person could do, right? So, but if you go and then you look at like, here's Raina. She's a great example. Now, I'm a little biased because she was here last month. So those of us in Edmonton had a chance to meet her and see her. But her Instagram stories, like this is a boomerang. But if you watch her, this is her like signature pose. She's got ulcerative
colitis.
Yeah, that's the words. Thanks, Taryn. And has done an amazing body transformation. So brace yourself because she gets like really real about her transformation right now. She's a girl that doesn't give a flying you know what about who sees what in her life. But this is what her body is now. That's what it was like.
Wow.
Not long ago. All because of Beachbody programs, and she's become quite the top coach. But notice she has now saved this image, and all she's done now on the next one is added 2 layers of text on top of it. She did a pink layer, then made the exact same thing and layered that on top so that you get that colored effect.
So how do you do that, or the idea of like the people who, for example, on one page have like one set of words, the second page they have that same set of words plus something else, and
so
then
you save that graphic after you make it, you save it, and then you upload that, and then you go back in, and then you put it back on again because it's already saved, and then you'll add more text to it.
Okay, so for us on Samsungs, how do we do that?
Watch.
Same thing.
So here,
same way.
I'm going to save
Oh,
this.
safe.
Yep.
See, bottom left-hand corner.
Yeah.
And then, let's say I've uploaded that. Then I'm going to go to normal, and then I choose my camera roll. I'm going to grab this, and I'm going to add text on top of it. I am going to be giving you some free goodies. Now make that text look a little bit different. Put it up on top. And you can like make this have a background so it actually stands out. Save that. And then you just keep layering if you want to create that kind of a look to it. Does that make sense, Kyla?
Yeah, and then so you save it and then eventually you go back and just add those pictures.
Well, if I was going to actually add this to my story, I'm going to do a little bit of that in a little bit because I have a free thing that I'm going to offer to people right away. So I'm going to I'll keep my screen running so you can see what I'm doing if you want to watch. But yeah, like Taryn does the same thing where it's like we layer the thing. So I would actually post it. I would click the plus, add to your stories. And then at one point I had my story settings set that everything I posted and uploaded saved to my camera roll. That's a really good way to fill your like cloud storage, guys. So I actually really loved it because then I could very easily go back and grab content that I had done forever ago. But I decided to just can that and just go a little bit more off the whim. But you just save the image, then post it, then add to it, save the image, post it, and you'll just, as the more you do it, this is a great way to invite, okay? And so this would be another opportunity that I would go into the little happy face at the top there and go to poll. Do you like free stuff? If I could spell this evening, be like, duh. Heck yes. And then like, because
don't do a yes or no. You don't want to give them an opportunity to say no to you. So like make it exciting, make them both yeses. Or do like, if you're doing Shakeology, something about like your superfood shake, don't say this is my Shakeology. You say this is my superfood shake. Which one do you like better? Which one would you like better? Like cafe latte or chocolate? Like, are you a coffee?
You just made me think of another. You'd be like, this is how I have my veggies. Would you prefer do you like your veggies to taste like chocolate or like rabbit food? Like, like just being silly about where both answers are positive. Like for instance, I'm going to X this out. I'm going to discard this because this morning I asked a question on purpose knowing that we were going to talk about this. And if I go into my stories from today, this is something else. I always start a new day with my affirmation, which comes from the app called Affirmation. It's nothing exciting. Becky's using the same one now. And like, it's not a fancy app, but it has enough words to give me something to focus on at 4:45 in the morning. And so that's how I've gotten into the habit of that being my first post of the day. So when people watch my stories, I hope they realize that this is a new day now. Every time you see that, it's the new day ahead. Okay. So showing that here's my workout. And then I kind of was like, attaboy, Joel, making this into a grip test this morning because my hands were dying. That weight beside my thumb is 45 pounds. And then I have this there's actually music to this, me jumping around and running like a crazy fool. And I didn't die. And then put this in. Here's this little video of my boys hugging and being kind to each other. See the variety? I've been conscious of this today, knowing that we were going to look at this and kind of dissect something that you can see all at once. And then I put this poll. Do you make your bed in the morning? Let's see. Always meh. 12 votes for meh. If I swipe up, then I can see who's seeing my story and who answered it. Erin is a meh. She knew I was going to pick on her. I can't even hear you. I muted
I make my bed probably like maybe twice a week.
Okay, so the reason why I asked that question is because I make mine every day. And I read some stats on the fact that people who actually make their bed daily are more productive people that are more apt to exercise and more apt to choose positive mindset than those who don't.
What's funny is I actually had that in my story last week. I took a picture of my bed all nice and made because I had pulled out my actually. Yeah. And I was like, I'm going to try and start making my bed every morning. And it lasted for like 4 or 5 days.
But am I looking at the people?
I like literally roll out of bed.
I kind of made it this morning, and then Kason got mad at me because I told him no, and he destroyed everything. He took every last pillow, blanket, sheet off my bed and threw it on the floor. And I'm like, you know what? I don't even care. That happened today.
That's hilarious.
If I have to choose between making my bed and having a shower or something like that, I do that. Because sometimes I'll like get out of bed at the very last minute.
Even like making my bed takes me like 17 seconds, so I don't feel like it's like the make or break in me like washing my armpits or not. I don't know.
See, but I gotta make sure that like all the cats are out from underneath.
Yeah,
there.
you got a lot of animals to deal with.
Yeah.
I don't judge. But yeah, so you can actually see if you swipe up in your story. And so like this is an example of I should have done something more here that I usually do. I should have tagged at Yumbox Lunch because I'm using their product. I should have tagged or done hashtag lunchtime. From Raina, what
by doing the hashtag, so you'll go into the stickers.
Yes.
Go into the stickers button, which is the smiley face. It looks like a sticky note. And you can do hashtag or @mention.
Mm-hmm.
So that way you know like how to tag things. And you can tag them. Do you know, Carrie, how to do it to where it doesn't even look like you tagged anything? To where you can make it.
You make it the same color as your background. Yeah.
Yep, you can make the same color as your background. So you can literally tag like 7 different things in your post and nobody can see it. But what happens is when people are searching these hashtags, it pulls up in the search.
Yes.
So you get, it's like free advertising for people to like follow you, check out your stories.
So here's the thing that I've learned though, is if I use the out of the smiley face, I can only do one at a time. Like you can only do one that way. So I could go I'm going to Terrence. Okay. And I can make him, it's small and teeny and tiny. And I can @Apple the same way and validate it by clicking on there. I'll hit done. And I can make this guy like super teeny tiny. Whereas from like somebody swiping by, they're not going to necessarily notice it's there. But in the world of Apple land, it's going to show up in their algorithm in their feed. Does that make sense?
How do I do more than one?
You just keep going to the letter symbol. I'm going to go @. So with Terrence, I use the thing that was out of the sticky note business. The rest, I'm going to write @confident strength.
Or you can hashtag things like hashtag tired mom on like your Shakeology posts. Yep.
And I'm going to go, I can go, and you can do the hashtag the same way. You can go hashtag learning. I don't know if I could type here, sheesh. Okay, hashtag learning. And then it'll validate it by being underlined. And like you could hashtag for days on a picture. And this is what I learned from Raina. When we were hanging out at the City Fit shop after our Super Saturday thing, she said to me, when you're putting stuff in your Instagram story, she's like, I'm giving myself permission to just take a second and like make sure that I have tagged the necessary people, put a hashtag and included a location, because the location, mine are very boring because I'm in the middle of the field, guys, but the location is important because it'll put it into the feed for that. So all of that is like, don't let it overwhelm you. If you get 1 out of the 3, you did good. If you tagged somebody or hashtagged something or included your location, awesome, points. If you get all 3, that's a good day. But the thing that does start to drive me bananas though is when all I see are those things on people's stories. Okay, so balance it. That's why it's like, just be conscious of, you're kind of making a self-made documentary of your day. And consider the things you like to watch. I like seeing music videos. I like seeing great pictures. I like seeing, I like showing people that, yes, I'm a mom. I like to go and make snow forts with my kids. I'm also a tech coach who builds tech learning situations for kiddos and with teachers. And like, just show your whole person, not just you being sweaty on your living room floor, right? You want to really include lots of people. I've asked them, I even said, like, what do you like seeing from me? Like, why do you keep coming back? I had people saying straight up, because I like seeing what you make your kids for lunches. Okay, noted. I'm going to keep putting that in there. And then because I like seeing what you eat every day. So what I don't post every day is I don't post me with my Shakeology in my hand smiling. I don't do that because that's not just like, I will let it show up every once in a while, but I'm not putting that identical pose. Are you leaving, Geneva? Bye. But it's, oh, do you have a question? Hold on. Are you leaving? What are you doing? I can't even unmute you. Oh.
We were muted.
There we go.
I have to go pick up my daughter from work. I wish I could stay.
That's okay. We're recording this. You can pick up where we left off.
Excellent. Thank you.
You're welcome. But yeah, so it's, you want to really put the variety in, but also be conscious of the fact that people might be coming to see you and watch you for more than just you and your sweaty selfie. Like, you want to engage the people, which is why the polls and asking questions, using that question sticker. Guys don't like think that I've put that question sticker out and had 0 people answer me.
Yeah, nobody does my question stickers, so I quit doing them. So I like to do the polls. The polls get the most engagement. One thing too, if you see somebody's like watching all of your fitness stuff, or at the end of the day, like they've watched all of your stories, that's like a permission to engage with them. Like, they're getting to know you, and now you get to know them. Like Carrie told me a while ago that it's good to get in on their page to see what they're doing, like and comment on their content too, so you can let them know that you're seeing what they're doing, you're engaging with them, and then shoot them a message too, because there's a lot of people that I've invited a while ago, and maybe they're not, like, they haven't responded to a few of my messages, and I might even have like 3 to 4 messages that they haven't responded to, and that's okay. Like, I saw Meg do her power hour, like we've done a power hour like this, and I've seen Meg kind of bounce back and forth in her messenger. She'll have like 3 to 4 times where this person still hasn't responded to them, and she'll still like shoot out a message and say, hey, I just wanted to touch base with you because I know like 5 months ago you mentioned that you were struggling with weight loss and you were wanting to get started once your son was in school. Like today, this is an example of somebody that I was talking to. She's like, yeah, I need to get back in shape, but I'm going to wait till my son gets in school. I messaged her and I said, hey, I know it's been a while since we chatted. What are you doing with your wellness now that your kiddo's in school? Are you still working on your journey? Have you found something that's helping you? So even if they haven't like messaged you back for a while, but it's a good way to just connect with them for the first time if you've never talked to them before either, because I get more people engaging on my stories than I do liking my post or commenting on my posts.
Right. And like we have consistent viewers, like guaranteed, if you swiped up in your stories and you scrolled, you have people who are watching your things. Now, can you honestly say that you have had conversation with all those people? Probably not, right? Like, I have on average anywhere between 120 to 170 people that watch my stories every day. And that's crazy to me that many people care to sit and give me that much time of their day. But then I also do the same for other people as I'm laying in bed and should be turning it off, right? This is like my only reality TV that I ever watch, is other people's lives in 15-second clips. You know you're a Beachbody coach when, right? But if I swipe up here, and I always have a choice, first post of the day, there's 130 people that watch today on a Tuesday, everyone back to work. Yesterday was higher. But like, this is my sister and a girl I used to work with, and my best friend, and there's Daniela, one of my coaches, and my sister-in-law, and my cousin, and one of my coaches, and another coach. And so like, a lot of the people that are watching are already people that are part of my circles. But this is where you can start inviting from. Notice to the right how we have the 3 dots and the sending them an air, message. So if I go to, like, for instance, I'm going to do one for you right here. I'm going to pop into.
Or what thing I like to do too is if I see, because you can see that circle button around their picture, if it's like purplish, you can see their stories that they're posting, and then I'll engage with them on their stories.
Yeah. And that's something new that has just happened over the past like 2-3 months, where you can actually watch their stories from anywhere. So whenever you see the circle that's kind of lit up purple and like pink and yellow and brighten up there, like Geneva's is the fitness GSH, or Jen Carlson here. If I clicked on hers, I can watch her stories. Clearly she's a coach, right? So I want to be like, at a girl, she's already our people. So I don't necessarily have to be like, hey, you want to join me? She's already doing things. But I can go into here into Jess Becker, who I know. Hey, beautiful lady. This is like prime. Congrats on your new little man. A big thank you for watching this crazy adventure of my life. How are you taking care of yourself? Not are you taking care of yourself these days? That's a yes or no question. But how are you taking care of yourself these days? Send.
Just sometimes I'll send things to people that are watching like my workout. Like I'll do 3 to 4 workout little clips, and I'll see they've seen them all. Say, hey, thanks for checking out my fun fitness adventure today. Are you working on your wellness too? And sometimes like they'll be like, no, but I need to be, or yes. I'm like, awesome. What exercises and meal plans or stuff like that are you working on, or what are you finding that's working for you? Because I like to learn. Even if they're doing something, well, okay, that's awesome. Is it working for you? Are you seeing results? Are you enjoying it? Are you hating the keto diet and you're feeling miserable, even though you have a meal plan you're following? Is it like fueling you?
See, and like you can actually click right on their profile and it'll go and show you, there's Jen, go and show you like, okay, what's their wife, mom to be, teacher, trust in the Lord. See, that's a prime person. I should be, Shalene Hoffman, I should be messaging her. She looks my kind of people. Kids, teacher, also knows several people that is a part of my circle. But, like we all end up being suggested similar people. So like what we would like you to do, you guys, is actually get into this space. So like this isn't a person that is super active on Instagram, like with posting herself, but she's watching, right? She sees what's going on. So like there's 130 people here that granted many of them are already in my circles, but there's people here that I could be messaging, and we all have them, right? And
you can also share it. I don't know, does everyone know how to share your stories from your Facebook to your Instagram, or your Instagram to your Facebook? Sorry. I think everybody knows.
Do we know how to do that, guys?
It was interesting, Carrie. I think you were talking about the last time how with our Instagram's posts, if we're doing hashtags, don't share it on Facebook, or at least remove the hashtags because of Facebook's configuration of things.
Okay, so
that's just on posts, not really on stories.
That's your solid. That's your solid posts. Facebook doesn't like the hashtags in your solid posts, but when it comes to stories, if I hop over to Facebook and I go to here and I watch Carrie, I have it linked to my coaching page. My story is identical over here. I have 131 people that watched it over on Instagram. I have 21 humans over here that watched it here, and it's identical, right? And so it's appropriate there. But when it comes to Instagram, your solid posts, it should not have any hashtags on Facebook. Make sense? Okay. So when it comes to your stories, you can have your stories fed into your, I have to remind myself where it is because it's been a while since I did that. It's not in here. Home. More story settings. So from within your stories, you go to your bottom right hand corner. Do you want me to go back? Bottom right hand corner, go to more. This pops up. I've never played with promote, guys. I feel like we shouldn't have to promote our stories. I don't want to put any more money into this if I don't have to right now. That's my personal opinion. But to story settings, and then allow sharing. You guys, if you don't have allow sharing on, you really should. because sometimes other coaches or other people, I see you post certain things and I'm like, dang, that's a good little bit. And then I should, if you have allow sharing on, then I can share that story into my story, or you know what I mean? And so that's the whole idea of like what we're putting out there is okay for keep going. So you notice how I have save to archive and save to camera roll. I originally had save to camera roll on. That filled my phone real fast. I take a lot of pictures without it saving to my camera roll and having 4 versions of the same damn picture. But save to archive is a good plan. And allow sharing. Where do I do that?
So there's might be different on yours, but I don't know if you can see this. I've got an allow sharing and then
what's on the bottom one?
Look.
Oh yeah, share your story to Facebook.
Share your story to Facebook.
Yeah, turn it on.
Okay.
Yeah, because then it uploads it for you. Because before we used to have to like do it here and then save all the things and then go over to Facebook and then upload it over there. It was like redundant and stupid. Like for that, I'm thankful that Facebook and Instagram hooked up because.
So how does that work with polls though? Because I haven't really messed with it with polls. Because if you share an Instagram poll from Instagram to Facebook, if somebody clicks on it on Facebook, it still works.
Let's look and see. 21 people. Let's see how many people make their bed. 3 votes.
Oh, okay. Because I was doing
different.
Uh-huh.
But I had 8 people that clicked forward. One person. Look at the information. This is the part I really like. You get insight here and I love this stuff. I'm being like, okay, that's super interesting. 8 people just said, screw ya, I'm going to the next picture. And
mine doesn't show me that.
On Facebook?
Mm-mm.
I'm looking on Facebook.
Yeah, no, it doesn't show me forward taps or back taps on mine.
Yeah, it's weird, or it's cool. 5 went forward. I don't see that on Instagram. There's different insights and like information on Instagram. So coming full circle here, because how have we been talking? That's this time cannot be right. Look at the time it's showing on my phone. Can you see that?
Yeah.
Uh-uh.
Weird. Anyways, what we want you to do is actually go into your Instagram stories, and I dare you, Taryn dares you, we dare you, go and send 5 messages to people. If you want to talk about the message before you send it, we're here. But let's use the remainder of this time. We have 15 more minutes till it's been an hour, but this call can go on for as long as you guys want it to. If you want to give a little bit more time, if you need to duck out and go to bed, I totally get it. But I'm willing to put another half an hour in here, and let's do some inviting from Instagram only tonight. Go and add to your stories. Maybe you have some pictures from beforehand. I know that I created an image today that looks like this because I went and I surveyed my people, and in my free group or in my sweet disaster support community, and everybody wanted both of the things I said. It was like resounding that there was a something for both. So I was like, I'm going to mash this up. We're going to do mastering mealtime and mental wellness all together. This is a free group. I'm going to just give them goodness to build community. So I need to post about this in my Instagram stories and invite people to this. So that's my plan. So I'm going to message some people and do this. Do you all have an idea in your head of where you're going? Yeah? Okay. I will keep my screen up for you. Do we want me to mute everybody and we can unmute if y'all want to like bust music out or do what you got to do? We can turn this on. I don't care. Do you also know about saving posts, you guys, on Instagram? Becky, do you know about saving posts?
No.
I want to show you this. If, like, for instance, if I'm scrolling.
You can saving groups that you can group people to.
You can totally group them now. That's a new one. But for instance, let's say that I really loved, I don't know, that this was a great example to me, this one coach. The little ribbon thing on the bottom right-hand corner of her image.
Yep.
If I click that, it's going to be saved. So if I now go over here to my, to my picture of me, and I go to the top right-hand, the 3 lines that were up there, and then go to saved, it'll be all together in here. So I save often all my black and white quotes that I really like. That I'm like, ooh, I want to keep this and post this later. Mm-hmm. So this post came up from Chelsea. She's a great coach, and we're hoping to have her here for Super Saturday in January, her and her husband. But I loved how she asked. Look at what she said. She said, what can I give you for free that you really, truly want to learn, want to understand? Send me a DM if you're shy. I'm like, this is great. I like how she worded it. I like that it's a simple picture. And then she's had 13 comments. Some of them are just like, yay, you comments, but she's asking the people, right? And so this would be a great opportunity for me to come over here into my stories and go to normal. And, oh, here's something else I wanted to show you. If I go like this and I just take a picture of my hand in awfulness, and I'm going to choose the pen, I'm going to hit the highlighter, the second one. I'm going to select a color, and I press and hold. Bingo, bango. You get a solid background, okay? And it'll solid background the image for you. If you keep it on there and you pick a color, like on the marker, press and hold, it'll actually cover the whole thing. The difference between the two is the highlighter, you kind of get the variety in the background, like you could still see the shadow of my hand on the bottom half. But if I go down here now, and here's a great place for me to plug in the questions. What did she say?
What can I give you for free?
Yeah, for free.
And you guys know how to go back into like your archive for Facebook and Instagram to see your stories. Like if it's lapsed 24 hours and you want to go back to the people that have messaged or who viewed it before. Does everyone know how to do that?
Yeah, let me just go like this. Okay, so to see your archives, Taryn, you're gonna have to remind me because I was actually looking for it earlier.
It's that circle button to the top left.
Oh yeah.
The clock.
The backup
that way
clock.
you can go back to see like the people that like watched it yesterday.
Then it'll pull up all the things. So this is a great example because my aunt's like, I really want to see the kitties. So I can come back to this kitty video and I can save the video now, and now I can go text it to my aunt because I didn't actually save the video before. Another good way to do that. But yeah, so you're seeing there was 155 people that watched that. Oh, they were so cute. But it's a great feature too to go back in time. But you can see like showing up real and raw, going from like having a decent day to being a bawling sack of at nighttime. Showing people taking screenshots of podcasts that you're watching. Becky, I love how when you have a good jam on your radio that you like show the radio station and tag the radio station, and like that's a great practice to be in. Sometimes using filters drives me crazy when I watch people's filters. I'm like, this is too much. Like you look like child. Like, this is not actually, but I mean, maybe you're going for it, but like this one was appropriate when I had the deer one on, because we were going to butcher our deer and our moose downstairs. So I felt it was appropriate. But but there's times
I've got deer in mine all the time.
Yeah, you've got your deer filter on all the time. Yes, I'm going hunting on Saturday morning. Want to come? But yeah, so it's, I mean, some days I have more of exercising than others, but the variety, yeah, and using like black and white filter versus maybe you're going to have like a black and white day. That'd be kind of fun, where everything you post that day is in black and white images. And then maybe the next day you're going to use another filter consistently throughout. Like, these are just all like whatevers, throwing in the GIFs or GIFs, however you say that.
You know what, now
go ahead.
I really like that idea, because when you told me that, it really inspired me, because the week next week, the week of Thanksgiving, is a year that I lost my uncle to suicide, and to kind of do a suicide awareness in black and white for mental health awareness would be
super powerful. Yeah, super powerful. Yeah. And like every one of those apps that I mentioned that does like video mashups, they all have a black and white filter. So like you could have the entire day be in black and white, yet still be colorful in your story and how you're telling it. Right? So, and screenshot, like Taryn and I were talking about hunting, and like I took a screenshot of her and I and threw it up there. I found an old picture of myself from 4 or 5 years ago, which is a crazy comparison to what I looked like then to what I look like now. You know, so the variety, boomeranging things. Some people boomerang all the things all the time, and it doesn't make any sense to me. So being conscious of the variety in your story is really
like the dun dun dun.
Yeah. And you know what? That's those super zooms. I never use them. And it's only because I don't prefer them. But I love when other people use them appropriately.
Like when my kids destroy everything, that one is the one I like.
Dun, dun. Totally, right? So, yeah, just ways that you can.
Filters. Like when I put pictures of myself, I am real and natural, and I don't fluff it up with anything.
Right.
And I'm all over the place when I post, because that's kind of the scatterbrain that I'm in.
That's okay.
So I look around and I'm like, maybe I need to be have a more variety, but it's real life. And
yeah, you're not doing it wrong, Becky. Like the way you have your stories, none of us are doing this wrong. You cannot do this wrong. It's just more so if you look at how you're doing things, and if you're growing a following of people seeing your things, this is how people are intaking information nowadays. It truly, truly is. So now it's like I can look at my story and go, okay, you know, it's Taco Tuesday. Like, this is a poke. This is a girl from work who I have been bugging. She's like my rocks. I want her to be a coach on my team so bad. It drives her nuts. Every time I see her, I'm like, you ready yet? You ready yet? You ready yet?
I have some people like that.
Yeah, like I did this. I'm like, I love this girl. She will be part of my team someday. And then she's like, go ahead.
I will encourage you real quick. There's one girl that I've been working with for 1.5 years. I hadn't talked to her in 2 months, and she messaged me and said, hey, what's your coach ID? I'm signing up as a coach today. I'm like,
right? So like,
we haven't chatted for 2 months, but she saw my posts, and when she's watching my stories, and she's like, all right, let's do this.
But I love what she wrote. Don't push the river. It flows by itself. Like her.
Yeah. She told us not to.
What's that?
That's Carl doing exactly what we're told not to.
I know, but he's the CEO of the damn company.
Yeah, he's not trying to. There's no guessing what Carl's doing.
Like you never know what curveball that man's going to throw. But it's like, yeah, and even like hashtagging things and you know, it's keeping it appropriate and just playing with it, because this entire thing of social media, this beast, is ever changing. So knowing that that's the reality, you know, so I'm not quite feeling like I'm quite ready to post about actually my free group because I want to iron some things out for myself. So I'm just going to go into my messages. And
I have a question. Do you ladies go and scour for other people maybe with the same interest, like their post, comment on their post? Where do you do that? Because I see the people that like my stuff. I see the people that watch my stories.
okay.
But if I need to grow my following, I need to
go and do the things also. Yep, totally. So when Raina was here, she said she does two things. She'll go into the search like the magnifying glass.
Yeah.
And she'll look at tags that are like her, but not like her necessarily now, the now her. It's like the her that was before. So if I look up, I'm going to look up Acreage Kids. It would probably help if I could spell.
And I just did this, and the tags shows the recent ones that I've done.
Right. So if I go into, you can actually follow certain hashtags on Instagram now, which wasn't a thing a year ago. So if I look at the tags and I type in that and I go to Acreage Kids, I'm going to see like this family. I don't even know who this is, but she's from Alberta. She's from Okotoks. These are cute kiddos. So I'm going to come over here. Family, health, wellness, happiness. She kind of already looks like my kind of people. And be like.
And a lot of people that have the link tree or the link whatever post or the thing in their bio, she doesn't, but I notice a lot of people already have that. So
Yes.
like they're probably a coach already.
Yes, likely. But some of these people are already like, they're into, dare I say, Isogenics or other companies or like Arbonne or Tupperware or whatever the things are, right? So often, you know, these people will be selling other things, but see, this is awesome. Alberta girl. And like, I could totally just comment and nicely done. You know, this is just all about engaging.
I just did 2 invites.
Good job. Jeez Louise, look at that. What does the fox say? See, so now I've commented on a couple things, and now I'll go to Smokin' Jenny and follow her, and hopefully she'll follow me back. But like, I could even go and send her a message and be like, hey, it's like we're both Alberta girls rocking life, and oh my God, look at that. You guys, this kid, you could eat him. Too cute. Oh my.
That's cute. Looks like she needs some more superfoods.
Right? And I'm like, geez, that shake looks nasty.
Where's the probiotics?
Right?
You know, probiotics. Parsley? Yuck.
Spinach, parsley, mango, avocado, coconut water. Ugh. Sorry, Jack.
I like my chocolate, thank you.
That's quite the combo. It's gross. Totally. Oh, I'm gonna put that out to the universe. That's so funny. See, so Becky, that's as easy as it is. And just going through, you kind of see what I've been doing, and just like scrolling this hashtag. This is still the same Chicklin, but. Oh, dang, I see plaid. Like, this is if you want to, like, you know. She's already a coach. Lift 4. And like, I am not against having coaches follow me or me following other coaches, because like we're all helping each other grow a following. Like, it doesn't bother me so much. But I will say this. I got a message, and this message made me like cringe. I'm going to see if I can find it here, because it was super random. Here. Angie in progress sends me this message. Hi, new friend. Number 1, puke. I am so very delighted to meet you in Cyberland. I'm a total nerd, so just wanted to say hi. I swear I'm not a weirdo. I'm just a mom of 4 that loves using this feature to meet busy ladies like me. We're all in this together, right? Are you into fitness too?
There's apps that you can use that if anybody follows you or like returns a follow, it just automatically spits it out.
Right. And I'm like, everything about this message made me want to go, no, thank you.
Yeah. And I had another gal who sells Plexus. They have that there in up north. So she just like word vomited her whole story. Like, I'm a Christ believer. I'm a mom of blah, blah, blah kids. My husband does this. Like, tell me more about yourself. I'm like, I don't have time for that. Go check out my Facebook profile.
Right. And I'm like, anyway, I just found it really offish. Like, I didn't quite understand. Like, I get what she's doing there, and I totally understand the auto replies and like messages that you can send out to people. And that is what this bottom, you see the speech bubble with the 3 dots? You can actually upload quick replies, and you can now have some like in quick replies, so that was if they're like asking for more information, or if you have like some like copy paste messages that you like to use, you can upload them to your quick replies and be able to just throw them in on a whim. I haven't clearly set that up for myself yet, but that's a new feature that you can do, which is kind of great. So guys, I have
think that's
to also
only
say,
Instagram or on only iPhone.
Brendan Burchard also put my little clip into his Instagram stories.
Awesome. He's He's got a special place in my heart.
I know he does. You and Brendan Burchard are airport buddies. Mm-hmm. And did you see what I put there? I was like, loving the wisdom. I'm like, hoping someday I'll be able to attend your conference. Vision board goals. In other words, send me a free ticket, yo.
You just got to run into him at the airport and then just bother him and his wife for half an hour.
That's what he says, though, on all of his podcasts. He's like, sometimes we just pick random people and like send them all expenses paid to come to our conference. I'm like, pay me, please.
In his book.
Oh, he's so good. This Amanda Muse, she's got a wonderful podcast also called Toast, The Toast, I think. Anyway, this is, geez, and see, thank you so much. How sweet, thank you.
Yeah, my lady.
She started following me, just got another follow out of that.
You know, you need to quit with all this follower business because we were tied and now you're like 25 above me. I need to get to hustling.
Guys, I broke 1,000. I'm so excited. Like it's still several thousand away from anywhere exciting in Instagram status land, but I will take it. I've also been, look at the amount of posts I have, guys. I've been Instagramming for a long ass time. Like forever. To the point that if you looked up, Instagram is kind of my kids' baby books. Mm-hmm. Our Bow World. If we look up Our Bow World, here's 654 pictures of my oldest son. This is all him.
That's cute.
Isn't that cool? This is how hashtags can be actually really amazing. And like seeing like wee littles. And I have it for all three of them, which is pretty cool. Found a hashtag that wasn't 1,000 things. Are you signing off, Becky?
I am.
Yeah, I think we should shut this down. Let us all kind of, because we could keep at this for 1,000 years. But consider the things that we've shared here and apply as required. And it is that time. Yep. So yes. I got 3 buttons to go sew on to some pants for my mark. Flipping heck. So have a lovely sleep, you guys, and just keep showing up, doing the things, and we will review this later. Okay?
Thanks.
All right. Ciao. I have to get out of here. Just like that. Aaron, you good? You're gonna go exercise now.